Hello guys, welcome to a Train Parrot. As you can see, this morning the best performing altcoins are mostly meme coins. Starting with a coin that I have never heard called Mew, Cat in a Dogs, Book of Meme, Stella, Jupiter, Pixels, Celestia, Zeta Chain, Turbo, Smooth Love Potion, Agent Layer. Well, what do you expect? The price is having a retracement on Bitcoin and meme coins are taking advantage. In today's video, we're gonna pick 3 of these coins and do some TA, see what's going on, what could come next for some of them. Although I have to admit that doing TA on meme coins, it's a lot riskier than trying to do it with the top 30, top 50 market cap. Some of these meme coins have a pretty huge market cap though. Jupiter, in particular, has 1.34 billion, Celestia 1.3 billion, and the smallest market cap among the top 10 today is Stella with the ticker Alpha with only 86 million. That's very small. The way we are sorting the coins at the moment is using this website called Lunar Crash. We are sorting using their metric called AltRank. AltRank is a combined social plus market metric that looks into market volume, social volume, relative comparison versus Bitcoin. So it's using a little bit of everything mixed up with socials, covering aspects as number of engagements, mentions, the sentiment of the comments that are coming from socials, the social dominance. Is pretty cool, and believe it or not, when it comes to this type of coins, socials play a crucial role to spot what is the next thing and also to take some profits when things are going too hot on the socials. Being a little bit of a contrarian plays out a lot better than chasing the socials. I'm gonna start with Jupiter. I like the fact that it's got a larger market cap. You know, I'm a little bit more conservative. I'm not a holder of Jupiter, but I'm curious what's going on with it. And I can see on the weekly, it has formed a pretty interesting and bullish pattern, to be honest. This seems to be like a bullish flag. And whenever I see a bullish flag, I get tempted to go the trend-based Fibonacci extension from the bottom to the top to the lower low, and that is targeting somewhere roughly around the $3 mark after the breakout that we have 1 week ago above this resistance from this trend line. A more aggressive target is $3.5. You can see that the RSI is in the process of confirming that. That's something that I don't like personally. I'm not saying that the setup is broken, but I do not like to see price breaking out before the RSI. I prefer to see the breakout of the RSI confirm, the price still within the range below resistance, and then price following up with what RSI has done already. One thing I'm not liking at the moment is we are at all-time high in terms of longs at the moment. So whether they're gonna be taken out at some point during this breakout and potentially see a retest. We have a strong level here of resistance that was respected in here, in here, in here, also in here, and it was support before and it was resistance before. So 0.88 is very strong, and after these 2 candles in green and the breakout, and seeing that we are facing resistance at $1, also psychological level, the longs could be pushed back down to test 0.88. We will have to see if that plays out. You can see as well on Jupiter how the open interest is spiking to levels of resistance as well. How many times the open interest got to that level and got wiped out back below the range. Of course, at all-time highs of open interest here, we were seeing all-time highs in price. But be careful, because at the moment there is a big accumulation of longs at risk of getting liquidated with levels below the price. You can see those levels in here. They are spanning towards 0.84. There are some at the top, but the delta is saying that longs are more exposed. At the same time, we are seeing that there's big levels of ask at the moment. And those levels, once again, are quite dangerous to be in a long with these levels of open interest. So don't be surprised if longs get taken down. Hopefully this time, instead of going all the way to the bottom of the range on the open interest back to 17 million, if Jupiter could hold that 0.88 somewhere in here after having taken out all those longs that are currently overexposed, then if we can see a bounce from here and then breaking above the $1, then we can start confirming that this is due for way higher prices. Notice that after $115, price movement can be very quick. Always look for the past, and we can see these two candles. In just 2 weeks, the price moved 60% down. That means that after we move from 115, we should be expecting also fast moves to the upside. There should be also fair value gaps trapped in here that are gonna attract the price to do their job very quickly. As a second coin, I want to review Mew. I have no clue about these meme coins. I know some of you guys are interested just for a little fun. It's gonna be difficult, as I mentioned, to do proper TA on this, but I have to even drop the time frame just to the daily, because on the weekly there's not much history in the price action. But again, I'm sorry to be bringing the bad news, but this is an ascending wedge. This is bearish pattern, and we are already seeing loads of weeks. There's exhaustion at those levels, getting into 98, very close to getting into 100. That's where there is big resistance. The good things for this coin is it has managed to break the resistance at 82. It seems that it has turned it into support and then continuing into 100. So the question now is, if we were to come back in here, back into 81, somewhere roughly around here, whether we are going to fulfill the prophecy or the target for this ascending wedge to go to the base of the wedge, somewhere around 45%. That will be a massive move for a short. Be careful, because if Bitcoin dominance stops and we were to enter into altcoin season, it might catch you in the short halfway through, trying to aim for the full target, and then suddenly you are in altcoin season and every single altcoin is pumping. In that case, be prepared for TA not to fully play out and respect things by the book. I think on the RSI we could do some tricks to see if the breakdown is already due. On the daily, you can see that it's holding still. It's very close to touch the support at an RSI of 68.5. Same with the price, is touching there. I don't know if Mew is going to be available on high block capital. By the way, if you want to get access to high block capital, I have a very decent discount in the description, and I'm also sharing in the description the charts I'm currently using. So once you get the first tier access, then you can just copy my charts and see precisely what I'm seeing now. Let's go into Mew USDT. There you go, it's available. That's great. There's not much history when it comes to liquidation levels, unfortunately, which makes it more difficult. At the moment, interestingly, the shorts are the one more exposed. Open interest is at all-time highs at 62 million, but there's also a combination with huge amounts of ask in the order book, meaning that people want to sell, but at the same time, there are these big positions that can get liquidated at the top. As I say, at the 105, there is a big liquidation. That is from very degen high leverage traders that left a short open when the price weak into 105. So that's a pretty cool insight, meaning that here there is that liquidation. So maybe before we get the breakdown that we were talking about, we could wick a little bit higher than this previous week. Take that guy there that considers himself very lucky, and potentially from there dump and fulfill the target of the ascending wedge, which is bearish. And the third coin that I'm going to review today is called Alpha. Alpha on the weekly had a breakout on the RSI. You can see it very clearly in here. Not perfect, the touches, sure, but you could even place it to be more correct, something like this. And then we see that there is a retest. Point is somewhere roughly around here, there was the entry. We had a few entries where the socials were underperforming. One signal was triggered around here and it made a move of 20%, and the second one that triggered on the 5th of August made a move of 170%. So you see, being contrarian, these signals are triggering when the socials are underperforming, when the coin is being mentioned too little compared to the past. You can also see that we left some levels of support and resistance in the chart. We have 92, 65 in here as support, Once we broke above 65, we made a big move towards 15, which we also had in the chart from before, and we have 18. At the moment, this is pretty evident. Alpha has trapped lots of longs. It has a big history of doing the same thing over and over again, in here. So every time that Alpha pumps, leaves a big wick, and that's the kind of modus operandi of this coin to scam into people. You can see that it's constantly coming down. It's in a downtrend heavy, but if you are paying attention and you find those sweet spots to enter, you can just wait and hold on there to see these pumps. But don't chase pumps on these coins. That is a terrible idea. Today is at the top of attention on social media, and you can see how that's playing out very juicy for a few people that now are dumping on them and potentially taking Alpha to a new low. If there was a new low, we need to look into 42. That is subject to 64 still holding. If 64 turns now into support, we could see another attempt even higher to 18 to do another dump. Notice that there is this modus operandi as well, that you do a pump and dump and then you do another one within the same range. So it could be that somewhere in here there's another pump and dump coming in. Unfortunately, Alpha is not available on High Blue Capital. I couldn't find it. But look at this, the amount of longs at the moment is absolutely degen. 85, pretty much the highest level since it was listed. Better times to enter is when there is very little amount of longs. It's better to time it like this. You can see if you put vertical lines, where are those entries? You can get entries at those prices and get a lot better exits if you know that pumps can happen, and these pumps are huge. We're talking about 100 or 200% micro pumps in this price action. If play out correctly, good for you. Guys, if you want to trade any of these coins, I suggest you have a look at bluffing. It takes 5 minutes to open an account on this exchange. You don't need KYC. You can use it from anywhere in the world. I managed to negotiate for you guys 10,000 in bonus depending on trading volume and very low fees. You're very likely to find most of the coins that we review in this series of videos using bluffing. If you already have an exchange or you want to consider using another one, have a look at the links in the description. Here's the High Blue Capital 15% discount link that I mentioned during the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.